there is a generation that has grown up now in America. I'm not talking about 20-year-olds. I'm talking about my generation. Grew up after World War II and was not taught about the horrors of communism, only the horrors of Nazism. And so they don't know how terrible it is. They don't know how bigger and bigger government means less and less liberty for people. And they don't value freedom. People don't. I just read a poll. 3/4 of Americans support a lockdown because of COVID-19. If that's true, it's truly a different America than the one I grew up in. I remind you that in 1968-69, there was a terrible virus in America called the Hong Kong flu. It killed 100,000 Americans. And that's equivalent to 165,000 today, not so far from what has already been killed in America. Nothing was locked down. Nothing. That's when the famous Woodstock celebration took place. Not only was there no social distancing, the whole purpose of Woodstock was to have no social distance. Why is that? Why was America so different then? Because it understood there was a much more realistic view of life. Viruses come, people die, it is a tragedy, let us save all we can, but you cannot stop life because there is a virus. You cannot do that. Every leader in the world except Sweden's leaders has done that. This is not even political, what I'm saying. Conservative leaders, like in Britain and in Israel and in India, they did the lockdowns as well. You know why? They're all afraid to be a leader under whom there has been any death. They are afraid of what the media will say. They are afraid of what history will say under this prime minister or this president. Look at how many people died on their watch, which is what was obviously said about President Trump. I'm not exactly certain what he could have done to have stopped it. Do they blame the Belgian prime minister for the deaths? Belgium has more deaths per million than America. Is the Belgian prime minister blamed for the deaths in Belgium? I doubt it. I can't believe that my fellow Americans would so easily give up liberty and the ability of people to support themselves and bankrupt so many business owners. So you'll say, well, some people might get COVID. And I say, that's correct. And if you're afraid of getting COVID and think you'll die, unless you are over 80 or you have some comorbidity condition, you know what the odds are? I think it's either under 60 or under 70. Do you know how many, the percentage of people who die from COVID? It is a fraction of 1%, a small fraction of 1%. If you're under 30, you're more likely to die in a car crash than from COVID. Why can't they go to a wedding?